Mount Vernon, the 1980s, crack cocaine. The crack epidemic hit my block really hard. Some dealers sampled their product and became the user, while others were growing an empire. It swept through our streets like a hurricane, leaving destruction in its wake. If the streets of 3rd and 3rd are familiar to you, the stories within these pages will resonate deeply, echoing the reality of growing up in a time when the allure of the fast life was irresistible. 3rd and 3rd was no stranger to rappers like Heavy D, DMX, and LL Cool J. On the other side of 3rd Street, Eagle from Small Axe Sound, lecturer Nicodemus, and several other reggae artists. Several well-known meetup spots were Shabazz, which had the best banana pudding, Crystals on 4th Ave, Rev Johnny Restaurant, and of course, Jackson Record Shop and his restaurant. Our playground was the concrete jungle and the local park full of crack vials. The police were no help, and detectives were trying to get their fair share of the money. Friends became enemies and turned on each other to get more money or less time. My first arrest was a setup from a neighborhood dealer. I was underage, so I only got an unconditional discharge of 1 year. I realized how much money I could make selling drugs. Because I did not rat on the person that set me up, some old heads taught me the game. I became heartless. I sold drugs to anyone who had the money to buy it, family and friends included. Crackheads started selling everything in their house. They even sold their food stamps, so children were going hungry. They became casualties of their parents' addiction, carrying the weight of the pain on their small shoulder. Unfortunately, violence was part of the drug game, something you cannot avoid. We witnessed things no child should ever see, our young minds scarred by the horrors we couldn't unsee. Chocolate asked to see my pocketbook and put his gun in my bag while we rode the subway. I felt invisible while he sat by my side. I held my head high and walked past the police, holding onto my pocketbook like it was a badge of honor. When we got to Brooklyn, he shot someone when the children lit M80s and fireworks for the 4th of July. Years later, I met my husband at a party at the Warehouse in Brooklyn. He moved in with me in 2002, and we decided to take over the block like Bonnie and Clyde. We were doing well, living the good life, going on shopping sprees, gambling thousands in Atlantic City, taking trips, and buying jewelry. We were happy and enjoying what we had built. We did not know the enemy was watching us and reporting to the police. People were jealous of all the money we were making. At about 5 a.m., my apartment was being raided. I jumped up and looked through the window, and I saw police on the roof next to my building, several units from Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, Bronx, and Pelham police stations. Everyone in the house went to jail, and we went back and forth to court for more than a year. We paid for my husband to have a Jewish lawyer since he got hit with the biggest charges. I had to sign my money to New York State so my husband could get a favorable deal. The lawyer knew the judge. We were instructed to put a certain amount of money in an envelope to reduce the charges. My husband did 4 weekends in jail. Money moves everything in this world. To hear the rest of this story, you must purchase Mount Vernon Hood Chronicles 3rd and 3rd edition on Amazon or Barnes & Noble.